this video I'm telling you what you need to know about hiking the Pieterpad, the most famous long distance trail in the Netherlands. Hello, I'm Kat, I'm Poefie, and we are from Steps by Kaatje, and welcome back to our channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Pieterpad. I've been on it, so I can say I'm kind of like an expert, so I thought it was time to give some information, some useful information in case you want to hike it as well. Well, first of all, the Pieterpad is the most famous long distance trails in the Netherlands. It goes all the way from the north to the south, or from the south to the north, and it is about 500 kilometers. The distance is hard to tell because I've seen signs with 480 something, 490. If you look it up on the internet, it'll say 502, and my GPX says 506, so I'm going for 506. I guess it's right to say that it's around 500 kilometers, and it's divided in 26 days of hiking. The distances are between 12 and 24 kilometers each day, so you can do it in a little bit less if you want to. I personally did it in 25 days, which is pretty good, I think. Now, usually you will be starting in Pieterburen, all the way in the north above Groningen, and then hike all the way down to Maastricht and go on to the Sint-Pietersberg. I did it the other way around because I wanted to start from my house in Belgium all the way up to Pieterburen. So it's whatever you want. You can easily set your own trail or hike your own path or whatever you want to say. Now about the route, well, it's quite flat. Well, the Netherlands are not known for their mountains, but still you will find some dunes, some heather, some smaller hills, and in the southern part in Limburg it does goes up and down a bit. So yeah, be prepared for everything. A bit of history. This path was designed between 1978 and 1983 by two ladies, Toos and Bertje, and they thought that the Netherlands deserved a real long distance path, and so yeah, they set out this trail. So I think they did a great job. And also on the Pieterpad there are a few references to them. When you're halfway in Vorden, there is some pavement with their feet in it, so you can walk in their footsteps. And also further north there is this Pieterpad monument, which was made for Toos, who has passed away in 2004, but the trail goes by it, and so you can pay your respect to her if you want to. Now, if you plan on doing this trail, it's a bit of preparation, of course. First of all, you will see how you're gonna do it. You might do it in one stretch, or like I did 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I think a maximum of 4 days. And if you need to know a bit more about this trail, there is a really good website. It's the Pieterpad.nl. I'll put the link in the description below so you can easily find it, and so you can find all information and updates on the trail and some accommodation as well. So it's really good. But if you want to be prepared, you want to buy maybe those two little guidebooks. This is part 2, part 1, and it has all the maps and information, background information on where you're going. It's really lovely. I really enjoyed reading in it, and so knowing a little bit about the area I was hiking through. What I also thought was interesting, I downloaded the GPX on my phone so I could follow the GPX along the way. Although it is really marked very, very well with white and red stripes, it's still sometimes you might miss something, and so it's nice that you can look on your phone and check if you're near the trail, if you can get back on there, or maybe you're just on the trail, you just didn't know. So I would recommend that. What I also like, there is this Facebook group where you can subscribe to, and If you have a practical thing you want to ask, people will help you. It's normally a Dutch Facebook group, but if you ask your question in English, I'm quite sure they will help you anyway. So check it out. What I also really like about this trail, it's really very well accessible, which means that every stretch, every day, you can take public transportation. You can go from end to point to begin point with a bus, a train, whatever you need. You might even consider to use the Pieterpad Vervoer Facebook group to find somebody who will drive you from the end point to the begin point for a reasonable price. That's also very easy. For public transportation, I had two apps on my phone. The 9292, which is for buses and train, or the NS, Nederlandse Spoorwegen, for the train separately. But yeah, I thought that was really neat, especially I'm hiking alone, I'm hiking with a dog. So yeah, it was nice. And also often in the Netherlands, you can park for free at the train station. So you can leave your car for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, whatever you want to do. And yeah, you can get back there once you're finished. The Pieterpad, well, you can hike it year round. I have hiked it in winter, spring, summer, and fall. So yeah, it's possible in any period of the year, which is good. The only thing is, yeah, camping, if you plan on camping along the way, campsites are closed out of season. So they might open in April, but they will shut down September, October at the latest. So yeah, if you hike in winter, no camping, or do it wild, but yeah, whatever you want to do. I personally stayed in hotels, in bed and breakfasts. I did camp, I did even a wild camp. Yeah, because in March nothing was open. So yeah, it's quite comfortable and good, easy to organize. Oh, for sleeping, you might consider Vrienden op de Fiets, which is an organization where you can get in a cheap room with some people at home, and you just pay a smaller fee, but you have to be a member. So I didn't use it because, well, I often went back home anyway. But if you're on the long stretch and do it in one time, you might figure out how to use Vrienden op de Fiets. As I already said earlier, I'm hiking this trail with a dog, with Frodo. And I must say it's really doable. It's almost everywhere the dog can be on the trails, except for a little part between Rolde and Zuidlaren. There's a part where you have to go around, but not very far. And if you want to do the prologue or epilogue at the coast at the Waddenzee, you can't take the dog. So yeah, it's a shame, but it is what it is. Also, what do you need to know if you're hiking with the dog? If you go in hotels and bed and breakfast and all that, you might have to look a bit longer to find somewhere to stay, because dogs are not always allowed. And so yeah, and often you have to pay extra. I've paid like 15 to 17 and a half euros extra for the dog. So and usually the hotels are also already more expensive than if you can have a room somewhere. But yeah, well, I have been walking alone. Of course, I had a dog with me, which makes it a bit easier, but still I didn't feel uncomfortable at all during my walk. It has been nice. People have been nice. I have been talking to people, and yeah, it has been really great. So I would really recommend this as a woman alone. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I didn't do everything by myself. I also had some company along the way. I had one of my friends joining me for a day, and I had my daughter who hiked with me for 4 days along the way. I really enjoyed that as well, of course. Now, before I want to round up this video, I want to give you a few more tips. Bring good rain gear, because it's the Netherlands and the weather might change quite quickly, especially here in the north. We are hiking the Pieterpad in the rain. Like today, it's foggy all day, so bring some rain gear. You might want to check the official website before going on trail because you will find the latest updates on the trail right there. Along the way, you often pass through little villages which will be having cafes and restaurants and all that, but they're not always open. So check ahead and make sure that you bring some water and some snacks or something to eat along the way. That way you're sure not to be hungry. And I guess most important is take your time to hike this trail. Don't be in a rush. Enjoy nature, enjoy the people you meet along the way. Just enjoy the quiet part of the Netherlands. Well, this is what I wanted to tell you about the Pieterpad. I hope maybe someday you'll get out there and do everything or a part of it. You will like it for sure. And if you want to watch my videos, I have quite a bunch of them since I videoed everything from Maastricht, Sint-Pietersberg up to Pieterburen. So yeah, you might want to check them out. And otherwise, I guess I'm leaving you here. I have 1 more kilometer to go to finish up the Pieterpad, and I hope to see you on another adventure. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye.